Jets and the Packers are going to eventually talk to the media, I guess. The Ravens had one today. They sent a trio of gentlemen to the stage. They sent Eric DeCosta, the general manager, John Harbaugh, the head coach, and Joe Horitz, who is their director of player personnel, has got a lot of his tires kicked by teams looking for a general manager. He's still with the Ravens organization. And the Ravens said, hey, this is a draft press conference. Any questions about Lamar Jackson? Well, we're going to pass. We'll take a pass. How do you think that went? Here you go.
It's been a week since Lamar tweeted about having the trade request and saying goodbye to the fans with the Ravens. Have you had a chance to talk to him since? And what was the conversation like? And when a player asks, saying he wants to be traded, what's your confidence level of him being able to be in playing this year with the Ravens?
Yeah, so those are, I understand the need to ask those kind of questions. I think just out of respect for the process, this is a draft luncheon, and we're going to try to keep as much of this discussion as we can to the draft, to the coming weeks, building the best football team we can build. So I understand those questions. I think we've spoken about this situation probably 5 different times this spring in various different press conferences and such. So we're going to try to just kind of defer to those questions and move forward to the draft.
With respect to this being about the draft and everything, just with the Lamar stuff that's going on.
Hey guys,
are you all looking at quarterbacks
Alex, if you can, this is about the draft.
There you go.
That's part of it. Let's just, we're not going to answer one more questions today.
Ladies and gentlemen.
That's on the table.
It's not you.
I just want people to be like, lean at me.
DeCosta was asked if he's looking at quarterbacks differently because of the situation. "Quote unquote, I don't think we really are. We got into every draft trying to take out. We go into every draft trying to take out any kind of bias. We kind of need any kind of need-based situation. Take it out of the draft equation." Joe Horitz asked about the evaluation of the quarterback class, said it's pretty strong up top. Both Horitz and DeCosta said they liked the quarterback group so much. Here you go. DeCosta was asked if he would take a quarterback in the first round. The Ravens choose 23rd. And the answer would say, depends on the board, really does. I would have to say yes, because we have quarterbacks in our top 31. So just based on that alone, simple math, I would have to say yes. Can you imagine Lamar still unsigned to an offer sheet, draft hits, first round, they take a quarterback? I will tell you what.
I can.
Let me just say this, because again, this is my 20th year with NFL Network, and I have been hosting a live draft every year since 2006, with the exception of the COVID draft when I was online as part of their fundraiser.
Zoom.
Yeah, I did the Zoom draft. Let me just say this. All I'm saying is I've been around the block. I've done this for a while. If the Ravens go into the draft and Lamar Jackson still does not have a single offer sheet signed, and the Ravens 23rd overall take any quarterback, anybody who is a quarterback, Hendon Hooker would be a perfect example if he's still out there, where you don't need him. Tyler Huntley can go, or Lamar can go, whatever you want to say, however you wish to spin it. You take a quarterback in the first round that night. And I understand April 27th, is that the actual date of the draft? April 27th,
I think so.
that Thursday night in Kansas City.
Yep.
It will become
27th.
It will become December 25th. Because the entire world would light up like a tree. Oh, my God. That would be something. Now, I don't think that's going to happen. How about that? I don't know what Lamar's option is going to be. Because you look at the teams that could currently go get him. Washington, I guess I'll still include Atlanta, although they have spent in a certain way where I don't know. I'm not a capologist. I don't play one on TV either. Vegas, Indianapolis. I don't see that. I don't see that offer sheet coming even after the draft if they don't get another quarterback. I don't see it. Now, there is one that still fascinates me because it would blow the roof off this sucker, and it's your team, Chris. It's the Patriots.
There's weird stuff going on up there.
Because Mike Florio is reporting that Belichick has talked Mac Jones this offseason with other teams. Mac's still there, and no one will say anything because they're not going to say anything because the only one who can say anything doesn't say anything. That's Bill. Not going to happen. But there's a reason why, and there's a reason why Robert Kraft let it loose that Meek Mill told him, hey, Lamar's interested. There's a reason why. And I don't know if it's, Kraft is clearly has a relationship with Meek Mill. We know that. He doesn't need to name drop. Is it to communicate to you, the fan in New England, that, hey, we looked into it? Is it to communicate to Bill, hey, if you are going to trade away the kid who I adore, there is Lamar here. What would the option be if they traded Mac Jones away? Go get Will Levis in this draft, sitting there in the middle. They love him so much in Kentucky. That's the backup plan. That's the one thing I haven't heard in this conversation, Florio's report, that Mac Jones, if they are willing to part with him, if Belichick is willing to, if we're going to take into account Tom Curran's conversation with us from NBC Sports Boston, that the reason why Mac will not be sent away this time at this point is Bill O'Brien was brought in to rectify last year's situation.
Right.
Where everything sucked like the quick game. and Kraft loves him in Mac Jones. That if he's willing to buck that system, what was the plan? Bailey Zappi? I don't believe it. I don't think so. Like,
and you're
print up the Zappi jerseys? Really?
And if things went south with Zappi, the guy who was always there as Brian Hoyer, they released him with still owing him guaranteed money.
But he's still staying in the family. He stayed in the family.
I know.
McDaniels
goes to Vegas.
Somebody with a Patriots pedigree cannot quit Brian Hoyer.
That guy's
he just signed as the backup to Jimmy G. Is Zolak available?
I mean, who knows? I think, this is what I think. I think Kraft dropped the Meek Mill line.
Yes.
To be like, hey, if this goes south again this year and the quarterbacks are terrible and it doesn't work out and we miss the playoffs, look, there's your guy who you can blame. Bill wanted to keep it this way, and it would make Kraft getting rid of Bill so much easier.
But he's the guy who never paid Brady like the top quarterback in the league ever. And he's suddenly now going to do that with Lamar Jackson? Really?
Bob's in his 80s.
He's the one who's got to stroke the check.
He wants to win again.
I don't think he's laying the groundwork to fire Belichick.
I'm telling you, Bill is coaching for his job.
I know you keep
the
saying
playoffs this year,
but
there will be a new head coach in New England in 2024.
But what? Let's place that aside for the moment. And I know you keep returning to that, and trust me, we'll have time to keep returning to that.
I just want it out there, so if it happens, I'm right.
I know you've already put it out there, and I'm sure you're going to put it out there again. Who is the guy who they would turn to? Now, we don't know when these trade offers were made. If the trade offers were made before Garoppolo or Derek Carr signed somewhere else, that would make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys are off the market.
Right.
So once those guys went off the market, entirely possible.
Well, didn't we hear, was it Zolak who said, I wouldn't be surprised if Jimmy G went to the Raiders?
No, I know.
Oh, no, sorry. Mac Jones.
Right. Well, I
so all
understand
these rumors have been out there before these other guys
and the Raiders
signed.
are, in the Florio report, one of the four teams that Belichick spoke to. So, by the way, Florio's report entirely accurate, and so could the fact that these trade offers were made before Carr and Garoppolo made their moves. Yeah. And once they did, Mac Jones is entirely off the table. Like, we could be having this conversation on the show right now, as we are, and the possibility of trading Mac Jones is long since past.
Right.
But I'm just curious to know, who is that guy? Who is the guy that they would say better than trying Mac Jones for size for a third year with the guy that we brought in to specifically fix last year and give him the opportunity to improve? A year 2 to 3 jump that we sure didn't see between years 1 to 2.
Or were they going to punt on and then just reset the clock on the 5 years like we've been talking about some team might do at some point?
Patriots are sitting there 14th overall. I don't think that's who they're going for.
What if Anthony Richardson is still there at 14?
No chance. Not a chance on this green earth will that kid be available after 5. No chance. That kid starts to fall. Do you know how fast somebody's phone is going to ring? He wouldn't get past 13. The Jets would trade out. Or the Jets would take him and tell the Packers, see ya.
Sorry.
Hey, Alan Lazard, you want to play with Anthony Richardson? Honestly.
Gonna have to.
I would be all over that. Sorry, Green Bay. Enjoy that $60 million salary. And if I'm Joe Douglas, I am saying that 1,000,000%. Try me.
Could you imagine?
Try me. And you can't, if you're Gutekunst, run that risk.
No. Not if you're the Packers.
Anthony Richardson's there at 13. Done. Sold. How more can I emphatically say that? How about this? If Anthony Richardson's available at 13 for the Jets and they don't take him, I'll curse on the air.
Yes.
Oh, please. Let that happen.
We now have something to root for.
There
TJ.
you go.
Let's go.
Come on, Greeny. I'll raise you an F-bomb.
But this is what I'm saying. If somebody starts to drop, who makes moves to the...
You can't run the risk if you're Green Bay.
Right.
Fascinating. This is amazing. I can't wait. 3 weeks from tonight, we get answers. Finally. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.